Hi, ladies and gents. How are you doing? Got a bit of a cold, me, so apologise for any sniffing. There's my mic back on. Right. What's the date? It's the 23rd of May. Nice one. First things first, before we do the news, let's laugh at this. Okay, I'll tell you what, it's a gift that keeps on giving, libs of TikTok. Absolutely class. Look at this one. 3-year-old students. He gets his gender identity validation from his 3-year-old students. You know what? Just going with my gut here, I think letting 3-year-olds make your decisions for you, probably not a good idea. Let's see what he has to say.
So today was full of little happy gender euphoria moments. I got called Mr. Micah a lot today. Wow, completely femme. And that was really heartwarming that the kids just got it. But my favorite reaction, and it sums me up so well, I feel like, is I was in a new classroom and I took off my mask to blow my nose, and I just hear a kid loudly whisper, "Oh, she's a boy." And I was like, yeah, you got it, kid. You totally got it. So today...
Fuck me backwards. Absolutely class, isn't it? Like, where can I start with that? First of all, there's no sound on. No, really? Fuck's sake. Why does it always... It works all right when I do anything other than libs of TikTok or Fox News. I don't know why. Yeah, shocking. Anyway, I'll have to... The short version is he basically says, "Oh yeah, the kids tell me the kids validate his gender identity," and he said it's great because he went in the classroom while with a mask on, and then when he took his mask off, the kids went, "Oh, he's a girl," and he's like, "Yeah, good, that it." It's like, is it? The fucking mental. It's like, I don't understand why, like I said, but in the 90s, because the 90s was more sane, you got what we used to call transvestites. You got blokes being birds and birds being blokes, but you never got this trendy, I'll just change on a whim. You know what I mean? Like, there's no aspect. Everyone used to know someone who was trans. There'd always be one local weirdo that everybody used to know, and you'd go, "Oh, you know, Brenda," and it'd be like, at least have the clacker done or like the boobs done, and always wear a nice dress. You know, they were actually done up. They put more effort in than biological women because they knew it was a bit weird, didn't they? Like, and I think they were sincere. I mean, some argue it's a mental illness, whatever, but at least they were sincere. This lot, like Douglas Murray says, they just look at me, people. They're not being sincere at all. Like, it's not genuine. You can tell because so many of them have got kids. The one who attacked Dave Chappelle, he's got a kid. It's like, it's a fucking straight bloke. Fallon Fox, straight bloke, married to a woman, fucking a woman, as children with the woman, and then gets like 28 and says, "Oh, I'm a bird now." It's like, you're not being sincere. If you did it your whole life, you could talk me into it. But they're not sincere people. It's pure unbridled narcissism. The Dave Chappelle attacker was actually in the media. I think it was. Yeah, here we go. Might not show the photos. The Daily Mail did a better job of showing you who was behind it than most. Let me just try and find the Daily Mail one. Even though the Daily Mail does my fucking head in because it's all adverts. Here we are. Let's have a look at this. Dave Chappelle attacker Isaiah Lee breaks his silence and reveals he was triggered by jokes about the LGBTQ community and homelessness when he tackled the comedian. So this fucking mutant, again, they've always got. They look like they pinched the claws by doing a lucky dip in the Salvation Army clothing bank. You know, like them red clothing banks behind the Salvation Army building. Like they just run over pissed in the middle of the night and start going, yeah, pulling clothes out, just put them all on and run away. First of all, they all look like that when they're getting dressed. And second of all, they've always got cut your hair in the shed with boxing gloves and garden shears. It always, and the fact that they're so cliched and unoriginal is what makes me think they aren't sincere. If it was real mental illness, they wouldn't all look the same. And if it wasn't mental illness and it was their actual gender identity, they wouldn't have wives and children. Do you know what I mean? Because think about it. They all try and obfuscate everything by making up this fake science. Like I always say to you, you just trust the general public because people know what's what. The general public are streetwise. People know shit. And you don't need to be a biologist like Katanji, IQ for pork pie, Jackson, fucking Brown or whatever she's called, said. You just know what you know. You know what's right. And you know that when you go through puberty, you know that when you're 10, you don't really fancy girls. And then when you're 14, something clicks and all of a sudden you do fancy girls because you know that that's what happens with the human body. Your sexuality asserts itself when you go through puberty. We all know this. You don't need to be a biologist. So if you started shagging birds when you were 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, you've had kids, and then all of a sudden you're 26 and you go, actually, I'm a woman. Yeah, I'm a woman now. Oh, yeah, of course you are. They're insincere. I'm not having a pop at fucking trans people because I don't think all of them are insincere, but massive quantities of them are. It's the same with the jails. Like, you know, everyone heard the story about the one in Middlesbrough. The clearly deviant career criminal that was always in the shit and said, oh, yeah, I'm a bird, mate. No. You're just trying to get an easier sentence. The idea that, like, predatory men won't use legislation to get an easier time in the world, won't do it. That's why conservative people are deeply concerned about it all the time. Yeah, well, that's true, Blue Van Man. You knew he liked it. We all knew. This is what I'm saying. You know, when you're a teenager, your hormones kick in when you're dead young, 30, 40, and you know what you are. You know what you are. You wouldn't do a Fallon Fox. When did Fallon Fox transition? Just out of interest, I'm sure it was in late 20s. I'm trying not to misgender, so I'm not saying he and her because YouTube will use that excuse to fucking boot me off. But I also don't want to kowtow and keep calling all of these people she and her. So I'm just going to skip words, and you'll have to make your own fucking mind up. That's the only solution I can come to. Hence the reason I always make reference to Alan's legendary snack bar or the churches with the bell ends on top. You just have to use that. I know that's a terribly fence-sitting thing to do, but you all know the Bootneck's a bit of a fence-sitter. That's the best way to do it. So you get around not getting banned off YouTube, but you don't have to say the words that the left are trying to make you say all the time. What's that? Serious question. If the left say a man an address is and to deny that is to deny, the existence, man. I hate the way they talk. You don't deny their existence. You just disagree with them, don't you? It's to make everything sound violent or hateful. Oh, you're denying their existence, man. I'm not denying their existence. It stood right in front of me. I'm denying the things they come out with. Doesn't mean I'm denying their existence or that I think bad things should happen to them, because I don't, because I'm not a fucking arsehole. Does that mean the left is denying the existence of men? Yeah, no, that's not a very hard question, that, Mr. Question Mark. No, it doesn't. Because the first half's not is bollocks, isn't it? You're not denying someone's existence if you fucking disagree with them. You know what that they always say, that denying my existence. I told you I hate newspeak. I hate AOC speak. Inform outcomes, denying their existence. Silence is violence. It's all bollocks. It's gobbledygook. They just spew. It's like the alphabet vomited when they talk. It's just bollocks. So yeah, that question's easy to answer. Of course not, because the first half of that sentence is bollocks. You're not denying someone's existence when you strongly and vociferously disagree with them. This is to pathologize everything, either make everything a form of mental illness or make everything sound like you're being violent or hateful. Strongly disagreeing with someone is simply that. It's not denying anyone's existence. It's not being violent. Silence is violence, man. If silence is violence, everything's fucking violence, isn't it? If silence is violence, literally, a monk in a monastery took a vow of silence, sat there on a chair. What's he doing? Violence, the cunt. Like it doesn't make sense on the face of it. Like I said, it almost annoys me the way educated people have long discussions about this. Like you get people like Douglas Murray and Roger Scruton sat at a Spectator event. Oh, poor old Roger's dead now, but you know what I'm saying. And they'll answer questions like that. They'll have long discussions about it because they're more patient and more intellectual than I am. I don't even waste my time with it. I don't even waste my time with it. How so? I'll be too busy looking good. You know that film, don't you? You all know that film. I don't even waste my time with it. I don't want to discuss the intricacies of bollocks speak. Is it to deny their existence, though, Roger? Well, Douglas, denial of existence could be occurring in a philosophical manner. No, it's bollocks, and anybody with eyes knows it's bollocks. I told you, if it doesn't pass Granny Bootneck's fucking radar, then I'm not interested in it. And if I was to sit down and try and have a deep philosophical discussion with my nana, Stabber Hilda, the knife-wielding nana, she wouldn't be interested. She wouldn't even entertain it. I'd say, oh, yeah, what do you think of this claim that to deny they exist? She's like, it's fucking bollocks. Nobody said that, denying their existence. Also, that's another one I don't like, triggered. The attempts by the communists to appropriate the term triggered. I mean, even that's their word, isn't it? Appropriate. I'm not using it. Steal it. Pinch it. They pinch the word triggered off the right wingers because those commie spastics are the ones who started saying everything triggered them. They started it. We didn't invent the fucking term. It was them. I've kept my finger on the pulse with this for like 10 years because I've always been into YouTube before I even started making shit myself. They started doing it. They were the ones who invented it. They were the ones who came up with it. They kept saying it all the time. God, my nose is running. All the time. Triggered. Oh, yeah, we're triggered. We need to have colouring books and fucking puppies in the faculty lounges at universities in case the faculty get triggered. It's like, listen, you said that fucking word, not us. You said it for 10 years. So when we started laughing about it and taking the piss out of you and saying, ha ha, you guys say you're triggered by everything because you're pathetic. Then they started going, ooh, triggered. You know what I mean? It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing for them to try and pinch the word. And you see on Twitter all the time, some communist says something ridiculous and I go, ha ha, you are clearly delusional. The reason this this guy's got indicted is because there's a paper trail and we know for a fact that the collusion hoax, 100% proven now to be a hoax, is happening because of facts and evidence. They go, lol, triggered. No, I'm not triggered. I don't get triggered. You do. You said you're the one who get triggered. I just point out facts and aggressively disagree with you. I'm not triggered. No fucking right-winger has ever in their entire life ever used the word triggered. Did Donald Trump, they're calling him, oh yeah, Orange Cheeto Man. Not funny, by the way, but constantly, Orange Cheeto Man. You never seen Donald Trump go, I'll tell you what, I'm triggered. No, I used to go, oh yeah, well, I'll show you how it is and insult them back and go, hey, Mr. President, or whatever infantile insults are used. Never once. You don't see Ted Cruz debating fucking Marco Rubio. Or when Donald Trump had to go Cruz's wife. Ted Cruz didn't go on TV and go, oh my God, I'm triggered. He went, Donald, you're a coward. How dare you? Yeah. Which is bollocks in itself, right? It's bollocks, but it's not triggered. Nobody right wing gets triggered. Nobody uses the word. They don't like the word. They think it's fucking pathetic. You get angry. Yeah, see, that's bollocks as well, isn't it? You're triggered and say you're not triggered just proves you're triggered. That's like the lady don't protest too much, isn't it? It's total bollocks. So it's like, if someone says to you, oh yeah, this makes you angry, and you go, no, it doesn't. They go, aha, that proves you're angry. No, it doesn't. That's the most, I don't think it even is warranted being called a logical fallacy, does it? Because it's just fucking ridiculous on the face of it. Like if you say to me, oh, Matty, you're definitely homosexual because you talk about cock sometimes, and I say, well, that's because I've got one. It doesn't mean I'm homosexual. You go, aha, you denied it, so therefore you suck more cock than Elton John. I mean, is there any way out of that? Is there any way out of that predicament? Again, all the things they say are like the 8-year-old debate, the 8-year-old guide to arguing. Oh yeah, I mean, there's a good one by True Seeker, whoever smelt the Delta. Yeah, it's the type of argument a 10-year-old makes, isn't it? Because you could say anything to me. You go, oh yeah, you last night you gave a rent boy a hand job. And I'll go, no, I didn't. Oh, the lady doth protest too much. Haha, checkmate. What are we, fucking 8 years old? So basically, I've got to agree to everything you accuse me of. And if I don't agree, therefore you win. I mean, are you a fucking idiot? What type of world are we living in? So triggered. Bollocks, innit? I've never been triggered in my life. I just don't like communists. You can't be it if you don't use the term or even believe it exists. I don't think it's a thing. They invented it. It's to try and make everything sound like violence. Triggered instantly makes it sound as if they've done something involving a firearm, clicked some mental switch in your head that's shutting you down or something. It's like, no, you're just annoyed and you disagree with people. Get over it. Everybody gets annoyed and disagrees with people. You call me fuck. Just get on with your life. The world's big enough for all of us. So that's funny, isn't it? Anyway, let me quickly do this because I went off on another rant tangent like I always do. This fucking lunatic, clearly a straight man or mentally ill. And there he is there, probably in his straight phase when he was shagging birds and sired a child aged 23. So it's bollocks. Bollocks. And now he looks like that because now he's in front of a fucking judge who might go, oh, you're the victim. Think about it. Think about this is why I'm covering this story. Just think of this, right? This piece of shit, this sloshing Elson, this warm Glastonbury Portaloo with legs, right? Attacked an innocent man who was merely performing his act on stage, rugby tackled him and had a flick knife to stab him with, right? He also was wanted for a felony attempted murder charge because he stabbed his roommate back in December at a transitional housing program generally reserved for homeless people. So he's basically a stabby felon who attacked a comedian on stage for no reason, for telling jokes, and also stabbed his roommate, poor bastard. Didn't deserve stabbing, did he? Didn't deserve stabbing. I'm the bad guy for talking about this, by the way, because I'm talking. Ooh, talking is violence. If silence is violence, what's talking? Rape, gang rape, mass murder? You tell me, communist. Silence is violence, so talking is what? Genocide? Yeah, I'm a baby raper. The Bootneck the baby raper. Because silence is violence, yeah, so talking, definitely mass murder. This piece of shit is the worm. Not me. I just talk. This guy stabbed his roommate, tried to stab the comedian he didn't like, and now he turns up in front of the judge not looking like that. Who wouldn't get any sympathy. Now he turns up looking like that. I mean, figure it out. Stabby, stabby. That's what this motherfucker should be called. Stabby, stabby. I identify as stabby, stabby. So it's bollocks. He wants to get treated with kid gloves by the judge. Hey, these military sweat rags come in handy for when you've got a cold. And what's funny as well, they actually have a tag on them. Military sweat rag. Like, they think of everything, don't they? I use them for the gym, typically. Rotten Politics is in now then. I'm sure you've covered something along these lines. Rotten Politics. It's fucking shameless self-interest. They lie because they want to get treated with kid gloves by the establishment, and it works. I don't believe he's sincere. Didn't look very feminine there, did he? When he was rugby tackling a bloke, trying to stab him. Didn't look very feminine at all there. He's also shagging birds and he's got children. Look at him, 100% bloke there. Doesn't look like a bird. Looks like a fucking geezer. Turns up in court. Ooh, hello. Ooh, hello, ducky. It's like, it's laughable. Laughable. And that's, again, this is instantly anybody. It's so easy, this stuff. And the government can't figure it out. It's so easy. I'll tell you how Bootneck can fix this problem. I'm also talking about issues with transgender sportsman. I mean, think about it. This is how smart Bootneck is. He's got the answer to all the big questions. No one could figure anything out. The WHO were there going, what can we do? What can we do about health? The NHS are like, meh, Tavistock Clinic's getting sued. How do we figure this out? Or the Olympic Committee, the IOC, everybody's getting together and going, how do we address this problem? I'll do it. Oh, yeah, and the police in college and the fucking, all the courts and judiciary all around the world. How do we fix this problem? We have these mentally, we must help the trans, but how do we stop it when they go to the women's prison and the fucking everything? That last one in America, did you see? Like some female prisoner got like fucking 3 birds pregnant. Ends up in the ladies' prison. Next thing he's got an ass like a Jack Russell, like a fucking fiddler's elbow. What we doing? Running a state-run brothel where everyone has to wear orange boiler suit. Here's how you fix these problems. Here's how you fix it. You fix men in female prisons. You fix any issues with the sports. Rachel McKinnon, Leah Thomas. Any issue with sports, anything. Are you ready? This is a really this is a unique thing. All over the YouTube I've watched, I've never heard anybody present this simplistic option, right? Dead simple. You're allowed to compete in the women's swimming, and you're allowed, if you're biologically male, and you're allowed to go in the women's prison if you're biologically male, and you're allowed to be referred to by me as a woman all the time if you do one thing, right? Are you ready for this? This is the wisdom of the ages. Get cock off. Easy. There you are. But as far as I'm aware, all the chances, because men are willing to do lots of lying to make some money, to get treated with kid gloves. Easy. The second that bloke who got sent to prison to the women's prison in England or in America, second they go in front of a judge and say, oh, actually, I'm a woman, send me to the easy prison. The judge should be like, cock off. And then they should have one of the security guards in the court should have, instead of a baton, you know, one of those pig killers, like a whoosh, like a telescopic baton. He should have a telescopic samurai sword, right? Whoosh. And the second they say, woman's prison for me, I'm a woman. Smug. I'm going to go to the easy prison. Cock off. Whoosh. One security guard has a collapsible samurai sword and a fucking and a needle full of local anesthetic and one of those little what are they called now? I'm losing my mind because I must be dehydrated. I went to the gym even though I've got a bad cold. Tourniquet, the ones they issue in the military. And then the second they go, easy women's prison for me, please. Wouldn't you? Tell us, lop it out. What? Prisoner's like, got his handcuffs on. Draws off. Whoosh. There you go. Off to the women's prison. Sans chopper. You're off to the women's prison, but you've suddenly got an innie. That's easy. Cigar cutter, that would work as well. Giant. I don't need a giant cigar cutter. I reckon I need something you could fit a Regal king size in. But yeah, easy innit? How easy is that? Like, because Leah Thomas has still got cock. They all do. So the chances, these people are chances. Leah Thomas is going to be a chancer. They go, oh yeah, I was 357th in the men's game, so I'll just tell everyone I'm a bird. Now I can be first place. Easy. The chances. And I want to make things easy for genuine, because I'm a libertarian person. I'm not anti-trans. I want to make things easy for these people. Everyone should be free to live life however they want, but you shouldn't be allowed to game the system. Just like playing the race card, just like women who are angry because a man rejects them. So they say, he raped me, and the next thing you're in the nick. How many footballers is it happened to? They're on video cameras on some of them, proper going for it with flawless, slutty technique. And the next thing, oh yeah, he raped me, yeah. They've got videos of them sucking them off in the fucking men's room in a nightclub. Proper going to town. And then next day, they're like, oh yeah, he raped me. Yeah. That one who got done, that poor bastard who got nicked for it, she was videoed going into the Premier Inn with him. And then like 30 seconds later, she ran back out of his room to get a pizza because she'd left it in the taxis. Everybody remember that one? These people are chances. A lot of the women, lie about it. A lot don't. So again, no judgment. A lot of the trans lie about it. A lot don't. No judgment. But you need to have standards. You need to have standards. Everybody with a brain knows this. Any system that the government puts in that can be used by people gets gamed. Half the people, fucking 80% of the people on disability are lying. Loads of them aren't. And those people, we all agree, the taxpayers, because any one of us could end up disabled, the taxpayers should help the disabled. But you need checks and balances. This is what conservative people like me have been saying for 20 fucking years after growing up in a rough town and knowing that half the people on dole for 20 years aren't job seekers. They do less work than the ship's cat and they're never going to do any work. So you're not a job seeker, are you? You're a career dole waller. You're not really disabled. Guess what? If you get treated with kid gloves, you lie and say you're trans when you're not. How many times do people lie about the race card? Jesse Smollett is just one of thousands of cases. Every time a black person, again, a person who happens to be black, by the way, I'm definitely not having a pop because it's individuals. Definitely no conservative black person would do it. No black person with self-respect like Thomas Sewell or Candace Owens or Zuby or any of the fucking millions of black people that vote conservative because they're not cringing cowards. They don't play the race card. But a slimy, woke communist that happens to be black will play the race card, and that's what they'll do. I'll get into an argument with one of them and go, dirty communist. He'll go, policeman, he called me the N-bomb. Yeah, he did. He called me dirty N-bomb. He said he despises everyone who's black, and he also said we should drop an atom bomb on Ethiopia. And the cops will go, in the nick, Mr. Bootneck. That's how it'll work. They lie about it. Every system in place by the state, people lie about it. Some women lie about getting raped for an easy win. Some trans people lie about it for an easy win. Convicts lie about it for an easy life in jail. Doleys lie about it for an easy life, sat in your deck chair, eating toast in the middle of the fucking street in Middlesbrough when I'm trying to get past in my car. And for some reason, you and your fat, ugly children are sitting in the middle of the street in a council estate, eating tea and toast and watching Jeremy Kyle on deck chairs in the middle of the road. You fucking no good, dirty... mutant dole scum. This is the world we're living in. So everyone should. It's not even really a conservative ideology, is it? It's a risk-averse ideology. I'm well aware that if you put a system in place that can be gamed, people will game it. It doesn't matter whether it's crime and punishment, tearing down your enemies in the case of false rape charges, dole, disability, welfare, anything. And I would say, surely, anybody who's centre-left as well, loads of lefties, will agree with me. Don't you think normal people of any political stripe will agree with me? Very, very, very few people, only communists, because they want the system to collapse, would say that if you identify as something, everyone should just take it at face value. If I was to just walk into my local dole office, I've never been in a dole office, so I don't know, because me, funny old thing, I live off my savings when I'm out of work and then I find another job. No one would think you could walk in there and just say, I'm disabled, put me on full disability. No, nearly everybody would say what you should do is you should have a thorough medical to determine whether or not your disability claim is true. This is the most common sense thing I've ever heard. Like, anything that could be deemed to be beneficial needs to be checked. So if a male with a big throbbing 10-inch clit wants to go in the women's prison, there needs to be a check. If a man with a big hairy back and forearms like Garth wants to go in the women's swimming, there needs to be a check. If Mick Philpott wants to live in a council house without ever working for 25 fucking years, there needs to be a check. And damn straight, if this piece of shit wants to stab his roommate and attack a comedian for no reason, there should be a check. And in this case, the easy check is cock off, son. You want to go in the ladies' prison? Cock off, fella. Is that not fair? Seems fair to me. So there we go. I've ranted about that for long enough. Let's get rid of that. There's a lot to go through actually today. I'm going to end up doing a longer stream than usual and I'm feeling rough. It's all right. I'll just stay hydrated and wipe my nose a lot. Oh, Blue Van Man's bringing me some cider. Get in. Yes, I'm back in the UK, ladies and gentlemen. If I didn't tell you, I'm going to better move that. If I can see how I fucking cover. Oh no, you can't. I don't want to accidentally dox the Blue Van Man and give you his phone number. Let me put something else on. Oh, by the way, I'm flying back to the UK on Thursday, all being well, unless I end up in a fucking monkeypox prison. It's like, I've got a small mole on my face there. Look, they'll probably get me in a headlock in the departures lounge of LAX. Yeah, choke me out. But why? Well, he's a white man. You're allowed to do that to white blokes. And he's got a small mole on his face, which is probably a monkeypox. Have you even noticed that every photo they've used on all the media channels, it's always a white bloke with monkeypox? Have you noticed that? Like, this fucking disease, like so many of them, originated in Africa. But whenever you see a photo of a bloke with loads of fucking carbuncles growing off his back, it's always a white bloke. Like, they refuse to show you anything remotely accurate. It didn't originate in South Shields, you cunts. Did monkeypox? Contrary to popular belief by the chat, monkeypox didn't originate in Hartlepool. Because they hang them, they don't fuck them. It's like AIDS. This is the crackers that Ricky Gervais joked about it. They said it either come from chopping your finger accidentally while cutting up bushmeat or fucking a chimp. He said you can imagine when the World Health Organization turned up, they were like, oh my God, there's a new disease here. And the bloke's like, what? He says, we're going to call it AIDS. It only comes from two ways. The bloke's like, oh yeah, how does it come about? Well, either you were chopping up and cutting up monkey meat to eat, and he's like, oh, I wouldn't do that. Or you were fucking a chimp. He goes, first one. Yeah, I was definitely cutting up and eating a chimp. Yeah, definitely wasn't doing that last one. So that's mad. But makes me laugh. So with any luck, I'll be in the UK on. No, actually, we're going to the LA on Thursday to see the mother-in-law. I think we're flying on Friday or Saturday. I'll be there Saturday, and I'm doing a podcast with Blue Van Man on Monday. All being well, where I'm going to drink cider, and we'll talk about the big issue of the day. One of them might be, why am I in this room on my own without the Angry Bootneck? Oh yes, because he got a chokehold or put on him in LAX because he got a small wart in his face, and apparently that's enough nowadays. I mean, if they could lock you in the fucking house for 2 years over what essentially is like a cold, surely they could get you in a chokehold in the middle of LAX for having a mole on your face, can't they? Seems fair to me, that. Right, so we'll get back to that. This one, right, this guy, he's a fucking idiot, isn't he? I was watching a YouTube video by Tucker Carlson a couple of weeks ago, and he was saying how Biden, again, the Bootneck's known this since, well, way before he started YouTubing. I've told you guys loads of time it though. I've told you guys this loads of times. Biden was famous for gaffes 10 years ago. I remember in the early Obama administration, they were always saying, don't let Joe Biden talk. Obama said this. Don't let Joe Biden talk on his own. He's a fucking idiot. The man puts his foot in his mouth all the time. And everybody knows this. Tucker Carlson was pointing out that they constantly have to walk back everything he says. He says, oh, if Russia does this, we're going to nuke them. And then the white back has to, whoa, we didn't say that. Look at this one. He does it every fucking week. He's doing it again. Biden vows to defend Taiwan in apparent US policy shift. Do they? Or are they going to have to walk this back? It says, US President Joe Biden warned China is flirting with danger over Taiwan and about to intervene militarily to protect the island if it is attacked. What a fucking moron. Speaking in Japan, he appeared to contradict long-standing US policy in the region, although the White House insisted there had been no debate. So, like, how bad must it be working for this guy? Every week, he says the exact opposite of what is US policy because he's a moron. And this stuff could blow up. I'd love it because, like I said, I'm black-pilled. I'm what you guys have referred to me as an accelerationist. I think it needs to get terrible before it gets better because the normies aren't going to wake up until it's terrible, right? So it needs to get way worse. And as long as it gets way worse on Biden's watch, I'm happy. So I would love to see China invade Taiwan today as a result of that. The Chinese just to go, oh yeah, picking a fight with us, you little old baldy twat. Fuck it, have it. And invade Taiwan. Just do it. Twat them. Go on, lads, do it. Because I want the whole world to fall to pieces on this thick twat watch. Because as I keep telling you, we deserve it. You guys that aren't black-pilled, get on board. We deserve it. You don't get angry about it. You just laugh and find it all hilarious. We deserve it. Don't tell me we don't deserve it. Most people are stupid. Most people don't listen to the Angry Bootneck, and most people are morons as a result of that. And they don't get it. And as I've said, you can't even whinge about the election. Because even if they did fiddle the fucking thing, Trump should have had 180 million votes. We deserve it. We deserve it. Yeah, see, Sadwings is railing against the truth. We deserve it. Are we not Americans now, Sadwings? We deserve it. If we couldn't, if the general public insists on being willfully ignorant, we deserve it. So we can't complain about it. We can't complain about it. Democracy works because it has to be off the majority. You can't have the tyranny of the minority. And most people are morons, so we deserve it. So we deserve the no baby formula, and we deserve the economy's tanked. My fucking stock's been wiped out. Yeah, I thought I was flush 12 months ago. Now I've got less money than fucking an Icelandic banker. So we deserve it. We deserve it, ladies and gentlemen. We're stupid. The general public are fucking morons. So just accept it. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter, Sadwings. The majority of your fellow Americans are either too ignorant to be bothered to vote or voted for the wrong guys. Either way, we deserve it. So yeah, let's get on with it. We deserve the financial crisis. We deserve $7 gas. We deserve conflict. We deserve Ukraine to be totally fucked because our cowardly administration is worth nothing. And hopefully the Chinese will invade Taiwan. Hopefully the Russians will lose the rag and Biden will keep poking him and there'll be a massive global catastrophe and a few billion people will die. And as the nukes rain down, I can sit there going, well, we deserve it. We fucking deserve it. And I told you, I don't care because unless one lands right on my head, I'll be all right. And I only want to live long enough to see Owen Jones flop into his grave before me. That's all I live for. I'll be happy as the bombs rain down, as long as I know. Because think of it this way. If you're poor working class scum and you're living in like a 2-bedroom bungalow and you've got a 1985 Austin Allegro and your house is shit and everything is crap, you've got a lot less to lose than Ellen DeGeneres in a 25-bedroom mansion with a personal gym and a jacuzzi. So I laugh when the bombs rain down. I like it because I know it hurts you more than me. If you live in a cave and basically you've got nothing to eat and you just drink rain, you haven't really got much to lose, have you? You'll be like, if the whole world ends in fire and flood, you'll be like, this is basically what I'm used to. So I don't give a shit. Owen Jones and Afua Hirsch and Laurie Penny and all the Hollywood elite and the actors, Benedict Cumberbatch, they're the ones who are going to be pissed if everything goes completely to shit. So the joke's on them. I'll be like, just another day for me, boys. Just another day for me. I don't eat beluga caviar. I'm a bootneck. I will eat things that'll make a billy goat puke. I don't care. So bring it on. I want the entire world to go to rack and ruin under this man's fucking leadership. The more the stock market goes down, I don't care. I've got a lot of stock. Put it in for years. Don't care. I'll be all right if I'm skint. So wreck the stock market. Run out of baby formula. I want fucking babies starving. Being like, mummy, why did you vote for Joe Biden, you dippy mare? I love it. Blue Vans man's going to buy an Austin Allegro. That was just the worst car I could think of off the top of my head. I don't even know. I know nothing about Austin Allegros. I know very little about cars. I've never been into them. That explains why I've got stock. Because whenever I get any money after a good year, I don't go, I'll buy a piece of shit car that'll half in value in 2 years. I just buy stock and keep my 1999. My piece of shit Escort when I was living in England was mint. I got it off my Uncle Ian for 700 quid, and I drove it until it exploded. I think it lasted me about 7 years, I think. Can't remember now, but that's my approach to cars. When I was working in aerospace, everyone made good money, including me. And it was literally like, it was almost comical for them because we'd turn up outside the office and everyone's driving, like, some of the cars were ridiculous. My boss was a typical American with big pockets. Drove like an 150 grand sports thing. Don't know what it is. I'm not into cars, like a Lotus or something. And I was like, I turned up. When I arrived in Huntsville to take the job, I literally went on Facebook, found some piece of shit car, the cheapest one I could get. It was about £1,000, and it was a piece of fucking shit, you know, like a rag for a petrol cap, rusted to bits. That's how I do it. Don't waste time on servicing. Servicing's for losers. Servicing just allows the shifty mechanic to rob you. So what you do is you buy a piece of shit and you drive it until it explodes. Winner. I'm definitely in you're not in the hole when you do that. You drop 700 quid on a car and it lasts just 7 years and you never get it serviced. Don't tell me that is worse than buying a dead expensive car. Oh, yeah, well, this car will last me 20 years. No, it won't. Probably get 15 out of it and you'll waste thousands on servicing and shit like that. So I don't care. Take my stock, run out of baby formula, ruin the stock market, print dollars so all my savings are worthless. I don't care as long as I know Ellen is having it worse. And this is the kicker, because these people think that it's like they're rich enough where they can just fuck off, and the only people who'll deal with it, the poor people, like on Elysium, they'll all just fly off to the rich man's place in the sky. If everyone starts flinging nukes about, there's nowhere you're going to go that's going to be nice. And then it'll be jungle rules. And you know what happens when jungle rules come on, Laurie Penny? You get fucking staked to the floor by an angry mob, and they have their wicked way with you. And if you live through the global apocalypse, you'll at least have an arsehole like the top end of a Wellington boot. Either way, I think I'll be doing better than you. So bring it on. This is the bootneck. This is the bootneck philosophy. You've got to embrace the suck, is what soldiers say. You've got to learn to love misery. I'll drink rain and eat salted porridge if I have to. If I know Owen Jones is having a fucking worse day than me, I will be erect throughout the apocalypse. I love it. So bring it on. Derek, well done, son. Derek's got the right idea. 50 years he's got out with his Land Rover. Well done. Only if you didn't service it. No servicing, that's cheating. Just got to drive it until it's like a fucking IED. And every time you pull up outside Morrison's, you're convinced it's going to explode, killing you and several bystanders. Anyway, all right. Rodney's first car was in Austin. It was shit. So I did pick a good, even though I don't know that much about cars, I did pick a good terrible one. All right, let's do one more story because I told you I had a lot to go through today. What was the other one? So that one I just had to quickly cover. The man is a fucking moron. The man is a fucking moron. And he's never not been a moron. He was a moron when he was 40. In fact, no, I'll tell you what, I'll walk that back. He was a moron when he was 40, but he graduated to be an imbecile when he was 50. When he was 60, he was then even the next tier, God-level spastic. And now he is all hail the crown prince of fucking global ineptitude and stupidity. The man has got the IQ of a fucking pork pie. He is a chicken McNugget in a suit, and we should all be embarrassed that he's the leader of the free world. Even you, English people, these silly bastards over here might have voted for him. But even you, English people, you know what I'm saying? We all deserve it, right? We all deserve it. Sad Wings, it's your fault as well. We all deserve it. Even the English could have at least exerted more pressure on the Americans and said, make sure you vote for the orange one. But we didn't. European Union, they were, don't vote for Trumpy. No. Everybody in the Western world, Canada, don't vote for Trumpy. All of the EU, Britain, Scotland, the commies in Scotland, Ireland, they love him in Ireland, all of the Irish. Fucking hell, they love Biden. Oh, he's Irish. Oh, he's Irish, to be sure. He's about as Irish as his chicken tikka masala, you thick bastards. Fucking nothing Irish about him. Check his DNA. I bet you he's like 80% English. He's just doing what they all do and playing up for the fucking Irish vote, the Irish vote from all these Irish Americans who, again, are about as Irish as my fucking left testicle. There's nothing Irish. I'm more Irish than 99% of the Irish Americans who wear kilts and go, oh, ho, ho, and drink pints that are green because they're mentally ill and pour green dye in the fucking rivers. What are you doing that for? What are you doing that for? Oh, ho, I'm Irish. Let's poison all the fish, you cunt. What's that got to do with being Irish? You thick twats. So we all deserve it. Get on the bootneck bandwagon, the black pill bandwagon. Love it. Embrace the suck. Embrace it. We all deserve this. We didn't do enough to make sure the orange one won. Oh, because he was a bit mean. So we'll put this fucking psychopath in the White House. And isn't it ironic? We keep saying they always accuse you of what they are. We were saying this years ago, weren't we? They were saying, oh yeah, Trump will cause World War III. Trump will cause World War III. What did he do? He got the North Koreans on side, put the Chinese back in the box, told the Iranians to fuck off. Basically, we were the most peaceful the world has ever been is when Trump was in charge. And now, so at least Trump's gone. We're not going to have World War III. We've got the fucking Russians invading Ukraine. Everyone's shitting themselves about nuclear war. And now the silly bastards antagonizing the Chinese. So hopefully they're going to barnstorm into Taiwan. And I'll just sit at home pissing myself laughing, splitting my sides. Well, that is true, Davey. I've got slightly more dry as I've got enraged. It must be good for my health. Gets the heart rate up, doesn't it? It probably counts as cardio. Doing some gentle cardio to sweat me cold out. But yeah, that's exactly right. When the shit hits the fan, the ones that survive are the ones that have to struggle. This is what I'm saying. Because like me, I'll eat people. If I have to, I'll nibble on Owen Jones's arse cheeks. I'll cannibalise the cunt. The people that are going to struggle are the people who have executive chefs. Ellen DeGeneres is going to be like, oh my God, I can't eat a sausage. Do you know what they put in them? I'd be like, I would muff out a chicken's arsehole if I needed to. That's what makes me laugh when people say, oh, chlorinated chicken. It's another one they love, the left, the woke lunatics who live in fucking you. Oh, chlorinated chicken. Oh, it's bad that. Remember that one? Anything to try and get us to stay in the EU. Oh, we might get chlorinated chicken from America. I was like, hang on. Have you ever been to America? Any middle-class arseholes been to America? Have you ever been to America? Yes. Did you eat chicken when you were there? Yes. Jobs are good. They've got no arguments. Everything they say is ridiculous. But there's the answer to that one. Have you ever been to America, middle-class arsehole? Yes. Guardian reading BBC, middle-class arsehole. Emily Maitlis. Have you ever been to America? Yes. Did you fucking eat a chicken when you're in America? Probably. Done. Again, read up on chlorinated chicken. All salad gets sprayed. That's exactly right, Sean. In England, they spray the salad. Chlorinated chicken. People have said that to me when I was arguing with them about Brexit. Ooh, lefty wankers in the pub in Middlesbrough. Oh, yeah. Are you happy eating chlorinated chicken? I was like, I would muff out a mutant chicken's arsehole. That's how interested I am in this fucking stupid argument. So as usual, I do two serious ones and then a comical one just to end on a high note. And I go, you've been to America and you've eaten chicken. You didn't care. You eat salad that gets chlorinated. You didn't care. I'd lick a mutant chicken's arsehole. Done. Right? Done. Fucking morons. These people have got the IQ of a Mac nugget. So don't even engage them. Biden's going to keep on fucking up the whole world until we somehow try and get him out. But we might not be able to because it looks like there's shenanigans again. I mean, have you seen how long the Pennsylvania fucking election's gone on for? It's like painting the fourth bastard bridge. We have an election back home and it's done in like fucking 18 hours. The frogs have a nationwide presidential election and it's finished in 24 hours. These useless twats over here, it's a week and they're like, we still have to do some counting. Are you having a laugh? Who's doing the counting? Diane Abacus. She took her shoes and socks off. Once you get past 20 voters, she's fucked. So what's she's doing the counting for? Honestly. It sounds like I'm actually being anti-American almost now. Just poor old Sadwigs and Chipper Operator, who apparently is another American in the chat, a fellow American, Chipper, so I'm allowed because I'm an American now. Where do we get off, Americans, telling people, oh, you need to have good elections. You need to have your elections monitored by us, and we'll tell you if we're doing a good job. The American elections are fucked. They've been fucked for 30 years. When Al Gore lost, they were like, oh, yeah, we don't know if this one's real. It's been... Again, we deserve this. We've been complaining about American elections not being trustworthy for Decades. The frogs have an election. Boom. It's done in an hour. It's like it's that easy. Who won? Macron did. Oh, there you go. Finished. There's no like, oh, hang on. Is this right? Here, you've got that big, fat, sleeping bag full of mincemeat. Stacey Abrams. Ooh, I'm worried about the voter suppression. You can't run a piss up in a brewery. American elections are a farce. It's been a week. They still don't know who's won. It's a farce. Just rip up the fucking rule book and go back to doing it with a bit of paper in a box and 10 blokes stand in the room when you count. Done. It's easy. They could do it in the bastard Wild West. It was like, gee whiz, let's have us an election. And there was more trust when they still thought the fucking earth was flat. No, that's wrong. I'm using hyperbole there. I think we figured that one out a few hundred years ago. Unless you're a rapper, at which point you still think the earth's flat. We had more trust in the elections 200 years ago. When people were like using them big square TNT boxes and like breaking people out of prison by tying a bit of rope around some bars and riding off with a horse. Ooh-wee, Texas Pete's going to have to spring him from the jail. We had more trust in the election process then than we do now. It's completely farcical. It's 2022 and we cannot figure it out. So, I mean, don't tell me Americans we should be all like, oh yeah, because that's what we do as Americans. We like to tell everybody else that we're the best at everything. USA, USA, because it doesn't work with another country, does it? You can't. It has to just be 3 letters. You can't go England, England. It just sounds stupid. France, France, France. It's bollocks, isn't it? Plus, it's France. It's a third world country. France is a fucking failed state. If I had to choose between going on a 10-day hiking holiday in the foothills of fucking Algeria or walking as fast as I could through Paris at a lunchtime on a Saturday, I'd pick the fucking foothill trip. That's how much of a shithole France is. They're on the 5th Republic because they can't run a fucking piss up in a brewery. Have you seen the state of France? I'm not even joking. I keep picking on the French because I'm English. But have you seen the clip of France? There's no way. There's no way you get me in France voluntarily now. You'll only get me to go back to France circa 2022 if you do a BA Baracus on me. You put a sandbag over my head and twat me with a lump hammer until I'm unconscious and then throw me on the plane. Because I'm not going to France. I went when I was a teenager. It was beautiful. Picturesque, grapes, smelled of wine and freshly baked bread. Now, I just seen a Somalian bloke fucking a goat under the Eiffel Tower. I'm sorry, I'm not going back to France. But even they can run an election better than the Americans. So I'm just saying, I don't want to defend the French. I hope the 4-minute preamble makes it clear that I wasn't defending the French. But we can't criticize anybody's elections because in America, we're dog shit at it. All right. What was the one story? Oh, yeah, final one. I'm going long, but I wanted to do all of these today. Final one. Let me have another drink. Right, this. Some of you guys put me on to the Critical Drinker, and he's funny. Probably one of the funniest blokes I've seen on YouTube. Paz is funny, and Rotten Politics is good. All of the right-wing YouTubers are quite amusing, but Critical Drinker is genuinely, objectively amusing. Not quite as good as me, but I swear a lot more than him. I don't think Susan's going to do me any fucking favors anytime soon. He's good, and he's objectively funny. The reason he's good and people like him is because he does movie reviews that are actually genuine movie reviews, which aren't filled with political bollocks. And he doesn't fill it with loads of political bollocks, does he? It's not 90% political diatribe because he's obviously not a communist. And then a little bit of movie review. It's an actual, genuine movie review. This here, I want to quickly read you the first couple of paragraphs because it's just illustrating the point that the BBC is ridiculous, woke, communist rhetoric and ideology masquerading as news and reviews and, whatever, recipes. The BBC could give you a recipe and they'll squeeze in some commie rhetoric. It'll be like, pasta, here's our dish for lasagna. Did you know pasta wasn't actually from Italy? It was stolen from an African man by an Italian with a brick. And yeah, it was culturally appropriated. And anyway, pasta's not that good. Here, have some fucking Ubuntu tribe slop on toast. It tastes much better because it's from Africa and everything's better from there. Everything. Here, cricket stew, eat that, you cunt. No, you don't want linguine. Ugh. That's what they'd start the lasagna recipe with on the BBC because it's just insane communist rhetoric. So, look at the first few lines of this. Is just to prove that they can't even do a movie review. They can't even do a movie review. Oh, yeah, and secondly, another thing I was going to point out. They have to use deliberately obscure language all the time. Like I told you guys, the Bootneck, I hope that the last 2.5 years has proved that he does actually have quite a sizable vocabulary. And when he's not swearing or muttering crude sexual threats, the Bootneck is a learned and well-read individual. But the real trick to reaching people and teaching people, I remember my science teacher, my favourite science teacher in school, Mr. Bai. I hope he's watching this, you never know. Mr. Bai is a good lad. Most of the teachers were shit. Again, like everything, I'm not a collectivist. I never say the cops are brilliant, soldiers are brilliant, the firefighters are brilliant, the NHS is brilliant, because in my life, it's always been a mix. 50% of teachers are good, and 50% of them are useless twats who are there to serve themselves. So it's the same with the military, same with the fucking nurses, same with the police, same with the firefighters. I don't care about this collectivist. Clap for your heroes. Fuck the heroes. I will personally applaud and buy a pint for the doctor that treats me or the fireman that pulls me out of a burning building. But I don't want to risk praising a shit for brains, diversity, higher woke, communist, firefighter, policeman, teacher, or what have you. So, yeah, a lot of my teachers were shit, but Mr. Bai was good. And he always told us, keep your fucking essays short and to the point. Don't think using clever, obscure language. Don't think getting the dictionary out and putting some big words in there is going to fool me. That is what he used to tell us. And it stayed with me. And I'm sure he was paraphrasing someone like Stephen Hawking or fucking Richard Dawkins or someone, because the whole reason those people, Stephen Hawking's the famous one, the reason The Brief History of Time's so famous is because it took really difficult physics, string theory, quantum physics, all that shit, and he made it distilled and easy to understand for normal people. That's why Richard Dawkins is so good. These woke, commie, fucking spastics refuse to do anything simplistically because they have to use woke speak, and they think using long words needlessly makes them sound clever. Because the reason they do it, I've told you about it. Jordan Peterson covered it. He said they do it on purpose because they want you to be confused deliberately. Because if you're not confused, you'll figure out that the substance of what they're saying is non-existent. It's non-existent. Look at all the long words and the bollocks in this. They're just total shit in this commie review. I'll quickly read it and then I'll leave. Triangle of Sadness, the most disgusting film of 2022. After winning Cannes top prize for The Square, director Ruben Östlund is back with a cruise liner comedy that's an excruciating, vomit-filled assault on the super rich, writes Nicholas Barber. Oh, yeah, Nicholas Barber, he's a splendid fellow. So obviously he's gave it 5 stars because it's an assault on the super rich. It says, 5 years on, he returns to Cannes with another satire, Triangle of Sadness, and it's even better, a frontal assault on the super rich and on the capitalist system in general, which has enough rage and riotous abandon to compensate for its lack of subtlety. Actually, that's not entirely fair. He makes his points with unapologetic frankness. This is what we get in the opening scenes when the film appears to be a straightforward lampoon of the fashion industry. In advertising shoots, notes Östlund, the more expensive the brand, the more grumpy the models have to pretend to be. And as the title, Triangle of Sadness is the term given to the frown lines between your eyebrows. The poor soul who may need Botox is Carl, a gangly male model who'd like to be intellectually and politically progressive, but whose better instincts are always overtaken by his insecurity. So he's saying, look, he wants to be intellectually and politically progressive, but these better instincts, yeah, because being a political progressive is a better instinct. What about the Mountain of Skulls, Nicholas, you fucking moron? Go and read a history book. Better instincts. Stalin, Mao, Pol Pot, better instincts. The Mountain of Skulls left behind by your disturbing commie ideology dwarfs anything Adolf ever came up with. So I don't think being intellectually and politically progressive means you've got better instincts. I think it means you're a twat. You're a self-serving scumsucker who's trying to be hip and trendy to impress the birds, and you don't care how many people suffer and in the inevitable famines that result. And then I tried to get through it, but it was just the same with this. Just it's all drivel, commie drivel, and also, like I said, needlessly lengthy and overly wordy, and just total bollocks. And the film sounds terrible. So there's that. Nicholas Barber, communist film reviewer. Stick with the critical drinker. He's better than this guy. 10 times better. Where was the line that made me laugh? There was something that's just absurd. Like, you have to get the thesaurus out just to make fucking head nor tail of it. Yeah, look at this one. Look. The sozzled captain and the oligarch swap quotes from Noam Chomsky and Ronald Reagan, and the crew seems to be hurtling towards a bacchanalian anarchy redolent of J.G. Ballard's High Rise. Just, if that doesn't make you laugh at the absurdity of the twat who wrote it, I don't know what to tell you. Can you imagine? Imagine, this is what normal people do. What did you watch last night? Predator. Was it good? Oh, yeah, fuck class. Go watch it. They're good. Exciting. Loads of violence. Story was good as well. Saw it. Really good. Nice one. Cheers, mate. What they don't say is, all right, mate. All right, Dave. How was the film last night? Oh, yes. Well, the thing with that is, it seemed to be hurtling towards a bacchanalian anarchy redolent of J.G. Ballard's High Rise. What a fucking dickhead. How good's that? How good is that? And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the BBC Spews for one day. I can end it on that paragraph perfectly, because if that's not the BBC spewing, I don't know what is. I don't know what is. I will see you all tomorrow in another bacchanalian anarchy. All right, cheers. Thanks for watching. Like it and share it. No, nobody cares. I don't care. Do it or don't. Fuck them. Susan doesn't care either. All right. Cheers, guys. See you tomorrow. Have a good one.